2 arms, 2 legs.
That's what I wanted to do. Tails, anything
No
like
tail,
that?
no anything like
Okay.
that. No obvious genitalia. It looks a bit like a Ken doll there, to be fair.
Okay.
And didn't seem to be wearing any clothes. It just seemed like the skin, because
What
it was
about the
all
skin?
over. The skin was smooth and like an iridescent bluey grey. And
Like a dolphin skin?
Yeah, but nicer.
Okay, sorry, dolphins.
Sorry,
Well,
dolphins.
you know.
But nicer.
Yeah, I get it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Awaken to Joy. I'm Shem, he is
Omondi.
And welcome. If it's your first time, then hiya. And if it's not, then welcome back. Okay, so today I'll be sharing another one of my experiences. And as usual, I'll tell you what I tell you about it. And you can ask me what you want about it.
Okay.
All right.
So let's start.
Yeah.
So what's it about? Go on, surprise me. I might have heard it, but
yeah,
maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember
usually,
everything though.
You don't, because there's so many. I can't expect you to.
Okay.
And then
good,
a lot of the times
don't. Don't. And sometimes, you know what it is, like I confuse one story with the other.
That's true. It does become a mishmash.
Is that the blue being with the... No, that wasn't the blue beings.
And I'll be like, no. Yeah.
All right. And then I've got my own story as well, so now.
Exactly.
Gone.
Right. So it was one of the nights where I was attempting to come out of body. And I'd planned everything. I'd set it up. I'd done my bath. I had switched off all the screens. I just tried a new way of being able to wind down before bed. That's what I was doing. Plus at the time, you know, I was still feeding, so I'd fed the baby and I was just, you know, sorting it out.
Sorting it out,
I was getting myself ready. And I didn't really want to be disturbed by him, so I had to make sure that he was asleep before I was, because I knew that he, you know, he might wake up, and I really wanted to come out of body, so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So that night I had got you because I'd seen one of Darius's videos, and I was like, you know what, it's a really good idea to check that what I'm going through isn't just some sort of made up situation, just so I could start validating my experiences for myself, yeah? So I asked you to do the thing with the number. Take the number, you write it down, we'll decide where you're going to put it, and I'll go to that place during my out of body, and I'll look at the number, and in the morning, I will tell you what I saw, what number I saw, and then you can verify that with me.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember you coming to bed, I said, did you put the number? And you said, yeah, and then that was it, we went to sleep. So the next thing is I'm being woken up by some singing. And I'm saying this as best as I can explain what singing is as we would understand it. The closest I could say is if you hear like a type of South African tribal singing harmonized. Just a nice little beautiful rhythmic singing type of, it was a very happy song.
Yeah, you know what? You know I like the choir down there.
I know
it's
you
beautiful.
love it.
I actually bought an album.
I know. So when I heard it, I immediately thought of you.
Yeah.
And
that's
and it was
funny,
live.
Right? Yeah.
So I was like already just into it. So I opened my eyes immediately.
I mean, yeah, for the one who don't know, like South African choir is amazing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I don't want to digress.
Yeah,
go ahead.
it was like that. But it was, imagine just like maybe a small choir, like of about 10, 15 people. So it wasn't like a massive, it was just a small choir, clapping hands. I heard lots of claps and it was very much rhythmic. And I was just like, this is a vibe. Where am I? I open my eyes and I see these small little beings around me, these faces, like I can only describe them as quite aquatic in looking in their face. So they had gills to the side of their face, like small gills to the side of their face. They had big, dark eyes. Their skin was a tone of bluey grey that I had never seen before. But blue-grey is the closest I can get. It was like iridescent as well. And they were small. Because if I'm lying down and I see your face is right next to me and you've only got a small head, they're probably less than 1 metre high. They were small. They were really small.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask a question after. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And you know how
ahead.
my sizing is off, but they weren't. Their head couldn't even hit this table, so they were definitely small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they seemed, and I looked down at myself, and they seemed to have these crystals in their hands. Now I'm calling it a crystal, but it looked like a stone, like a grey, silvery looking polished stone in a princess cut, like in a diamond princess cut, that type of. But they were each holding one in their hand, and they were somehow pressing it into different areas of my body. And when I opened my eyes, it was like they did like a little chair. And I was like, just looking at them, and they were all over me. So there's some on my arms. I looked down, there was some on my legs. And I felt no pain or anything. And I just looked around. And as soon as I thought, where am I just lifted out of my body. And I thought, wow, that's something, because I'm out of body. How am I lifting out of my body if I'm out of body?
Yeah, I have things.
But you know,
I feel like that thing similar.
To my understanding now, you have many different etheric bodies. So
yeah, I heard that
an
before.
aspect of me had lifted out, flew up, had a look around where I was. I was at the edge of this. I was on the sandy part of a shore, just on the edge of a thick, luscious pine forest. And onto the other side of the sandy bit was a lake, a turquoise lake. And then the biggest white rock cliff face that you could see, just huge. And I'd flown up above it, and I was looking around, and I saw my body there, and I saw the little beings there, and I was like, okay, this is nice. And then I just came back down. And then by that time, that whatever it is they were doing, it seemed to have finished it up. Just got back in my body. And the next thing I remember is people holding my hands and me walking, but being rushed back to my bed. And I was in the kitchen at that point. And I remember stopping at the front room door and saying, no. We've whizzed past the kitchen. I've agreed something with my husband. And then a little one jumps up and looks at me and was like, said something to me, but ended it with like whatever. Like, your husband right now with a number. We ain't got time for this. Like, it was so cheeky. I was like, I said, you better go back there and go and find the number for me then, because I've got things to do. And I know you've taken me and done this thing. But I'm planning something for myself, and then I saw she or he, but it was see the sass. The sass was giving me some feminine energy sass, not that it appeared to have any given gender. So I was like, all right. And then I said, what was the number, as I'm walking up the stairs? And it gave me a number. It said like number 2, and I was like, immediately, you're lying. I just knew they were just trying to rush me back in my bed. Just get back into bed, lie down as soon as you can, just get comfortable, and we've got to put you back. And I was like, no, I'm going down there to see the number. I just shook them off. I said, get off me. And I went downstairs, got the number, saw it, and I said, look, I knew that wasn't no 2. And then I went back upstairs, and as I laid down, they helped me kind of just get settled in. And then I opened my eyes and it's the next day. And I was like, okay, that's going to take some sinking in to do. So then I asked you the next day about the number. And I was like, babes, I'm going to give you 2 numbers, yeah? Though I know one to be correct. Can you tell me which one's correct? I said, I was told it was 2, but I saw a 5. I think it's the 5. That's the one I verified for myself. And you said to me, yeah, it was 5. Why did you say 2? I was like, you know, I'm gonna have to tell you in a little bit. And then obviously I let breakfast roll past and I sat down and I told you, but yeah. And I said, hang on, that wasn't an abduction. But I certainly went somewhere with these peeps. And I'm back now and I felt, side note, great. I felt great. I felt limber. I was good. I didn't have any aches and pains, no headaches, nothing. Like I felt really good. I was like, okay. That was it. That was my experience with
Yeah, I understand.
contact / abduction. I'm not going to call it abduction. A visitation and going somewhere with some beings. They never gave me a name. I never got anything. That is all I knew from up to there.
Yeah, I mean...
Questions?
Yeah, a couple of questions. Contact. Well, it's like it's the thing with contact. It's assuming that something is not of this realm. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, but we are amongst beings that we don't necessarily see right now, obviously because of the light spectrum, but that we can perceive. It's so small.
Yeah.
Well, until you receive more of your soul, you obviously wide, and then you can start seeing things. But
yeah.
So for all we know, it is not an abduction because
it wasn't
by definition they didn't really take you, for all we know, somewhere per se. Might still be over where you are. You know, sometimes these things are very complicated to can be tricky to understand. But anyway, yeah, for the numbers, I remember 2 things. Now it's been a while, so I don't remember which one came first, but there was a time, and I think a couple of nights before, I wrote the number, but I wrote, I think, the number 2 couple of nights before. And but it just happened, it was for you to come out, everybody, but you didn't know at the time. See, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I had to rewrite another number. And I think that's what it was. If I remember right, I wrote another number, and I think in this instance, I think it was the number 5, if I remember. And then, and that's probably why I asked you the question at the time, because I was like, what did you say 2? Because I remember changing the numbers, but it was each of the number, but it wasn't probably the same time. And it's probably why I've asked as well the questions, and you told me the answer what was going on with that being trying to say 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And plus, they probably didn't check. They may have tapped into the previous timeline where I put the number 2 and trying to say 2, because I don't think they're fundamentally trying to. But they probably trying to. Okay, yeah, they probably saw me doing the number 2. See what I mean? But just trying to give you that information. But the truth is that I changed the number in between, and it was a new number that was written down. So yeah,
I knew that.
So what I'm trying to say,
I knew it was lying.
The answer in some level may have been both correct as well. So one for the 2 days before when I did it, because when I did it, you were supposed to do it, but for some reason it didn't happen.
Yeah.
You didn't get to come out of your body, so that didn't work. So I just rewrote a number.
Yeah, I see that now.
So yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's probably what I can explain. Because these beings have some abilities. They may not feel they have to check the same way we would check from our perspective, where we will physically just to come back here and say, yeah, that was for real.
She was acting like I was asking her. I'm saying she because of the type of energy she was giving me, not because I know whether or not it was male or female.
Yeah.
Not that I don't, as I said, didn't have any
So, yeah.
human genitals to say, I would know anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand. But so I remember that there was 2 instances, and I think that's what happened. Why that being came and trying to say, "Oh, it's that number." Try to just quickly tap on timeline
She
and
fucked
then
me off.
yeah, because she probably
She was
whatever.
like, you need to get in your bed. It was like that. Why are you asking me these? It was like, why are you asking me these childish things? You think I give a shit? She was like, I don't give a... She gave me this, I don't give a shit right now. She's like...
We've worked already. That's what I'm saying.
I was like, don't fuck me off. And I was like, get off me. I'm going downstairs. It was that thing.
Yeah, and he, whatever, might have...
This is they.
They, yeah, might have just tapped into the previous timeline when that actually happened.
Yeah.
So in some level, they may have said the truth.
I know it was wrong, so it didn't matter.
But then because you keep your personalities, your intuitions, you probably don't... On the other side, the intuition is key, is number one. So you're probably like,
no, I know
something ain't right.
No, you're wrong.
But anyway, yeah, so let's ask the proper question there.
I thought you really did.
No, it's not. That was just because you just kind of almost finished with the numbers things. So,
okay, go.
So it's just kept it in my mind so I don't forget to tell you that. Yeah, the first question is when you came out of your body, do you did you leave your body? Did you have a recollection of leaving your body, or was it one of the situations where you appear somewhere?
Not that night. That night I appeared somewhere, which is a little bit why I was more... I really was adamant to go and check the number because I really wanted to verify that I was even out and that this wasn't a very lucid dream.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
I was still at that point where I was even discovering how to differentiate the difference in myself, like because of how much time and how long I'd been having spontaneous ones.
Yeah, you did not want to be caught in your dimensional space.
No, I didn't.
Where you're like, okay, this is my dimensional space.
Yeah.
I'm not out like that. Even though you can have the consciousness, but you are highly influenced by your thoughts and how you feel as well. So I'm guessing you wanted
to do the number thing.
To do the number thing,
fun.
Yeah, I understand.
You know me. I was like, that sounds fun. It's a fun way to kind of confirm things for myself. Let me do that. I don't have to leave my home. I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you talk about another thing that I've heard that before, and I know that it's possible to do, which is pop out of your body as much as you want. Being on the other side, that's actually something I've heard. Didn't try it myself, but definitely heard that. And some people have experienced this where they just come out of your body. But what made you come out of your body? And you were out of your body, but I'm just saying, you ethereal body, your soul body. Let's call it your soul body. You just decided, okay, I'm gonna come out.
As I said it, I came out. As I said, where am I? I just slid out, and then I thought to myself.
So you didn't really will it out? It's just like
just
for an answer. You needed an answer. An answer was given that way.
I just slid out. I needed to know something, and I commanded to know where am I, and I slid out, found out. Okay.
So did you?
Everything's all good here, and then flew back down and went back in my body, which made me think: was I out of my body, or was that a physical thing? And then I popped out.
Well.
I was baffled at that point because I said, "How? What? Oh, it doesn't matter."
Well,
it was like that.
It reminds me of something because you are appearing somewhere, but it sounds to me that you were on automation in terms of there was sort of like your full consciousness, but you get. Like you're functioning on your own. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
I was on
you're
autopilot.
on autopilot.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're laying. You say you're laying there, right? You were laying down.
Yeah, I was laying down.
But then you feel everything. I guess you felt everything physically, right?
Well, that's the first thing I do is touch my hands or touch something wherever
But
I am,
also
and I
this-
felt sand beneath my fingers.
Okay, and these beings were working on you somewhat.
Yeah.
But okay, what I'm saying is, I have been in situation where on a soul level, is like there's a hell no, there's a absolutely not, and there's a refusal to do something. So there's this rejection of whatever's going on, and then I would come out of if it's a dream, come out of the dream, or if it's something more physical like an out of body experience, I'll refuse it completely.
Yeah.
And I'll even down to sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I don't really get it, but for the only time I started feeling it, I just did what I call a reset, so that I'm able to just come out of it, and then, because I don't want to feel it at all. I remember, but at the time I did not know it was sleep paralysis. So, but anyway, so what I'm trying to say is like, there's an agreement there. You're agreeing to these beings doing whatever.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Exactly. So like, there's obviously an agreement there.
Must have been.
Now, you coming out of your body to find out where you are. So a part of you doesn't know where they are, but another part of you know exactly what's going on. It's just that part that knows what's going on seems to be on autopilot.
I guess you could say that. Whatever it was, I wanted to know where I was, like, because it wasn't somewhere that was familiar to me. It was like, I was like, oh, I've never been here before.
So
It was that.
have you asked a few things before, like sort of like it sounds like healing or whatever they were doing on you? Have you asked before that OBE something? Because
I did, but that was, I thought it wasn't answered.
Yeah.
So I was like, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I don't know. And then I guess I got my answer. I'd asked for, because I'd previously had an OBE where I'd met my guides, but I had 3 days afterwards, I had such a headache. Like, I was so tired and zapped. I was zapped.
were you pregnant at the time?
No.
You weren't pregnant? No, you were not.
No. And I was just zapped. My energy was gone, and I was just like, if I'm gonna do this like this, if I'm gonna make that shift from spontaneous to controlled, and it's gonna cause me to have this overbearing migraines and headaches and stuff, count me out. So it's either you got to fix this, help me fix this, or we could go back to the spontaneous ones and I'll figure it out after that. That's literally what I said I was like, if anyone's listening, that was before I knew kind of like how to talk to my guides, like
So you've
that
asked.
I do now.
Yeah, you clearly asked something.
Yeah.
And that is asking. That's why I always ask people, like,
Yeah.
did you ask for it?
Yeah, I did.
Whoever I'm talking to, I'm because it's important. It doesn't have to be immediate at the end of the day. It could be a week before, prior to that. And then sometimes it's matching frequency to what you ask. And once you match that frequency, these things happen. So you'd clearly ask some things.
Yeah.
So it's funny that there's a clear, so it wasn't going to be an abduction.
No, but I didn't expect any. Firstly, I didn't know how it was gonna come.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
anyone stepped in and was like, "Well, first we're gonna." No,
But you didn't will it either. You just ask.
I just asked it.
It's been delivered.
I was like, "You're gonna need to come and help me with this because I'm not doing it like
And
this."
did they do that?
It was done.
Was it delivered?
It
The
was
way you
delivered.
asked?
It was nice. It was fun. Firstly, it was fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Matching your personality.
It was, it matched my personality.
With song, music.
With song.
Exactly.
And they were jigging as well. There was a little jig with it clapping. I was like, wow.
So it was delivered.
It was. Really beautifully as well.
Okay, so that being said, let's talk about this being. So you say this more, are they looking like dwarf-like beings. You know, there's certain features when people mention
I'm trying to describe as best I
being
can.
a dwarf being, like they look
As in, you mean size or human,
proportions,
or looking like
proportions.
humans?
No. There's you could be a small being looking like a human, so your proportions
Proportion like humans.
Well,
I would say yes.
okay.
I get you.
What people refer to little people, I think it's the term they use for saying little people. There's a change in proportions. It's not exactly, even though they're humans, they're like you, but the proportions,
Sometimes
size,
they're
limb,
different proportions.
it's not exactly the same, and you can physically see, okay, you're a small person, but what they refer to is, no, I don't know the scientific term for it, but what I'm saying is that, okay, that's looking that way, and then there is
like
being proportion wise. Say, imagine if you were scaled down to, I don't know, maybe the size of a pen, but you keep your same proportion. Were they looking like that? What was it exactly?
Yeah, they did. They had what people would consider human-sized proportions. It didn't have any genitalia. Didn't seem to have. Just looked like a small doll's body.
And you're referring,
and I mean that in
to
proportions: 2 arms, 2 legs.
That's what I wanted to do. Tails, anything
no
like
tail,
that?
No, anything like
Okay.
that. No obvious genitalia. It looks a bit like a Ken doll there, to be fair.
Okay.
And didn't seem to be wearing any clothes. It just seemed like the skin, because it was all
skin?
over. The skin was smooth and like an iridescent bluey grey. And
Well,
I'm
like a
saying
dolphin skin?
yeah, but nicer.
Okay, sorry,
It was-
dolphins.
Sorry,
Well,
dolphins.
you know.
But nicer.
Yeah, I get it.
And it just a colour that I don't see here.
Okay. Difficult to explain the color, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Then they spoke to you. Was it telepathically?
Yeah.
Okay. What language?
Until she went.
What
and I was like,
really?
yeah, the one that I understood is all I can say.
Okay. Because you can telepathically can be like appears English to you. Was it the same?
Yeah, it was like that.
Okay.
It was just I understood what had to be done.
So let's talk about the stones as well they've used, or the crystals that you've seen here before.
The closest I would say is pyrite. You know, that kind of silvery, grey, black, metallic looking one. Like that.
I used to have one of them.
Well, it was cut like a princess cut diamond.
Okay.
It was like when a diamond's princess cut for a ring, it was like that.
Okay.
And they held it in the palm of their hand, so that's how big their hand was to it.
Oh, okay.
But for me, it would look like the size of an egg, maybe a large egg.
Okay,
A large chicken egg.
I understand, yeah.
So it was like that,
okay.
that type of size.
Okay. Okay, and you say you were in the forest.
I was at the shore
pine
of the forest.
So what? Sea meeting the
So you've got the forest.
The
edge,
forest, yeah.
just goes into an embankment, a sandy embankment, which
Right.
leads to a lake.
To a lake.
They
Was it
had
a lake?
me on the sandy embankment.
Like, you say turquoise lake, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, so now moving on from the... I can kind of see the way they look. What about the features? What did they have like...
They had huge eyes for their face. They looked cute.
Okay.
They looked cute. They were non-aggressive, non-scary, non-threatening to me.
Like oxyloto type of cute, type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
No.
not in the way that an oxalotl looks like, more in the way that I guess a grey would look like, but I guess if a grey met an oxalotl, so it's like quite aquatic looking, but in the same way still had features like a small nose, but very small nostrils and lips, but a mouth opening, but no real thick lips of any sort. Just very, just an opening there.
Okay,
like
I understand.
That type of thing.
I get it.
But still but still open their mouths because they were singing. They were opening their mouths to sing.
Okay, I understand.
It was like a harmony like I'd never heard before.
Okay, so so it sounded like sort of a sound crystal healing.
I took it like they were whistling while they worked. It was their little ritual thing that they do, and it was just such a vibe.
I think they're weaving frequencies into whatever they were doing.
Whatever it was, I was here for it because that was what woke me up. I was woken up by this song, and it was like a chant thing. And it was a nice little song,
That
it
is
was so nice.
That's
it
fantastic.
really was.
That's fantastic. It's like you get to meet. I don't think. Do you think they're you guides, or do you think they're just beings that are assigned to do a certain work?
Well, I'd been asking around like the community that have had galactic contact, and a couple of people who I know have had galactic contact, and from what I've gathered, they seem to be something that people refer to as a gardener race. It's like a race of beings that will come and do things on behalf of another race, especially if that race doesn't yet want to have direct contact with you or can't have direct contact with you. It's like an emissary. They will do things on that race's behalf. So say you're from a particular galactic family or a particular galactic lineage, or they're supposed to look after, say, that part of your DNA or your whatever is activation for you, they will send them on behalf to make sure that thing is done.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. Okay, I get.
So
I get
they
the
had
gist.
a job to do. That's why they were a bit short with me. Like, okay, that's not important right now. Let's get you back to bed, lie you down.
Okay.
That was that type of thing. And then in the morning when I woke up, I knew for a fact that I had to have a salt bath and I had to drink water that day.
Okay, so what's the information they give you?
It must have been because I just knew it. It was like I knew that's what I had to do.
So because you do, when you get these experiences, you do integrate the adjacent formations like to the experience. So sometimes you don't necessarily remember the details, some details, but you knew there was more than what you remember. And I guess that's that in that circumstance.
Exactly. I think I remembered the important parts.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I felt non-threatened as well is because I still had all my clothes on. No one was trying to stick anything into me. No one was trying to do anything like crazy. It was all very, it was very light there as well. It was what we would consider daytime. Could I see a source of light? No. It was just very bright.
Well, there's something quite interesting as well. You appeared laying down. Yeah.
I was already on my back, so imagine you open your eyes in bed, you can see your body lying in front of you.
Yeah.
You look around, you look up, but then there's like little faces there.
Yeah. No, but that's really interesting. Oh, that's what I'm trying to point out as well. It's you appear laying down, and then you got these beings and whatnot. They're doing what they're doing, and then you pop out to find out on a, I guess, greater scale where you are. You're trying to map out where you are. So what you see, I guess, is a forest. Yeah. Do you see anything else?
Forest, like I said, a white cliff's edge.
White cliff's edge.
The cliff's edge was high. I would say, honestly, about 30 meters high. It was high. Because when I went up, my whole point was that I wanted to see as high as where the top of the cliff edge was. And then it was just grass up there.
Okay. So it might not be necessarily galactic per se. It could be a part of where we are now, because there's definitely an overlay over this place, but we don't see everything.
Exactly.
So it could also be that. However, one thing is they then took you back to your place.
Yeah, they took me home.
So the journey from where popping out, did you go back into your body laying down?
Yeah, I went back into my body laying down. Then what happened then?
Because
I shut my eyes and enjoyed the rest of the song.
Did it tell you to shut your eyes? Was it voluntary?
No, it's just voluntary. I just like looking around, and then I went back and went back down.
That's the part I want to analyze and point out as well, because you're end up there, but now you're closing your eyes, so you're fully conscious. closing your eyes, voluntary, just enjoy whatever's going
Yeah,
on.
because I even picked up my arm at one point just
Were
to have
you
a
dressed?
look. Yeah, I was dressed.
Okay.
I was dressed. This is why I wasn't
Were you
alert.
dressed the same outfit you went to sleep with?
Yeah, because I had on my pajamas.
So that was the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
because hear me in my thoughts
Yeah.
was, if I am going to come out of body, depending on where I go, I don't
Yeah.
want to have to change when I get there.
Yeah, you don't have to manifest a new outfit.
Because I don't know if I can manifest. I was still at the stage where I was scared, so I didn't want to how do I manifest clothes? I don't want, I don't want.
I understand. Understandably.
I was still very thinking like that, so I was just like, you know what, just wear something that you don't mind anyone seeing. It was like that. It sounds
understandably.
funny now, but
Yeah, because you can manifest anything you want. Then.
Yeah, but that's how I thought at the time.
Yeah. Okay. It's just to work around that point. So basically, at that time, you just say go back. You're going back into your body. Close your eyes. Enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Enjoy the festival, wherever that was.
Yeah.
The healing session. Then you open your eyes again.
Yeah. By the time I opened my eyes, it was as if when you fall asleep on the sofa and then you usually say, all right, babe, you've got to get up and go to bed. And you kind of just walk me up the stairs, you hold my hand, and I'm kind of just walking
So
up
what
the
did you
stairs.
appear when you open your eyes again? That's what I'm trying to determine.
I was actually through the back door, through the kitchen, where the kitchen is.
Okay, so they brought you back.
In the house.
In the house.
And I was walking past the kitchen, and that's when I said...
That's my point. Okay, this is why my point is why I'm asking this, is because it's very important to know that you may not remember where you when you ended up, or where the starting of your experience was in terms of how you got there. I mean, however, you got brought back from pretty much wherever you were all the way to your yard, really.
Exactly.
So it's
so I'm in the
fascinating.
kitchen and I'm just
it's very fascinating.
a bit tired,
Yeah.
to be fair, a bit sleepy.
Yeah.
And I'm just feeling pulled, and I'm feeling myself walking.
Yeah.
Like I've just been pulled up from the sofa, said, all right, it's time to wrap up.
Did you have an elapse of time, or what felt like an elapse of time between the time you close your eyes and at that point?
Yeah, must have, because last time I had sound and I was lying down. Now I'm up and I'm being walked somewhere in my house.
Yeah.
So I'm walking, and I'm like, okay, I'm waking up. And I'm like, whoa.
So the number situation occurred.
Then I remembered number.
And then what happened then? Once
They were
that's done.
number? Psh, that was how it was like that. That's not important.
Yeah,
and at that point, I said, no.
Yeah.
That's important to me.
Like you mentioned, basically.
Yeah. And then I turned around, came back downstairs, got the number, flipped the number quickly.
Oh, so you passed the kitchen, and
yeah,
I think was in the kitchen.
Up the stairs when I was saying this to them.
Okay, so you went back down on your own?
Yeah,
I just
went back down. No, they waited on the stairs.
And when you went back, they were still there?
They were somewhere on the stairs, somewhere even in the room where I was supposed to be to get.
So they were making sure you don't go and me
back
and
in the bed.
Yeah, they want you back in the bed.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Didn't see my body in the bed though, and don't remember seeing my body in the bed.
Did you check for it though?
Didn't check. I just wanted the number, and then by the time I know, the next thing I feel is someone laying my head back. Once I got the number, I'm walking up the stairs, and I'm walking back up to the bedroom, and the next thing I feel is my head going back on my pillow.
Okay.
And then I wake up like that. So it's all a little bit.
Yeah. This is.
That's why I needed to check the number, because I said, "Wow, that happened."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You needed to like fathom that reality.
Needed to.
Yeah, I know that's a normal thing. But you know what I've noticed is, and probably more people will have these experiences where it's like you get dropped into a situation. Well, I call it a situation because I don't have another words for it. You experience whatever you have to experience, but it's very brief. It can feel very real, and it can be very loaded in terms of messages, or if it's like healing or something like that. And I believe this is sometimes can be a lucid dream, or depending of your consciousness at the time and how you can move yourself completely out of your dimensional space, can be an OBE as well. And also depending if you meet beings and if it is the purpose of it is specific, it could be straight a soul agreement where you're supposed to have sort of like treatments, healings, because it happens a lot where there's things that has to be conducted during the night time where people can be as receptive as possible or come out of the body fully, actually. That's interesting. That's very
glad I had the number thing, because if not, I wouldn't have taken it on as such.
I
would have questioned it.
I understand,
but
it's funny you say that, because there is definitely certain little protocols you can do for yourself, and they vary from one person to another. So, I don't eat necessarily in my sleep. Like I don't, when I dream, never really eat. Like I never actually remember eating in my dreams. That's not something. So if I happen to eat something, it will be a lucid dream or straight up an OBE experience.
Yeah.
For me.
Because you know yourself.
Yeah, I heard people eating in the dream, but that's because how I perceive the feeling of eating.
Yeah.
So depending on that, I think that would be an indicating factor. For me, what you're saying that can actually tell, that lets you know, of course, numbers. Also, that lets you know that it is more than just a dream. It's also the consciousness you had when you came out of your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have the notion of a body there laying down, and then you coming out of it.
Yeah.
Do you usually experience this in your dreams?
No.
Exactly. See, there's certain things you can say,
No, if I look back and see my body, I know I'm out of body, done.
Exactly. So it's not... Yeah, so see, depending on whatever you experience, I think that is these are telltale signs. If it's not usually what you've experienced, or you never experienced a certain specific thing like that coming out of your body within what someone will say is a dream, it's usually because it's not a dream.
I had to sit with that one for a while, because I was like, firstly, nice song. Secondly, cheeky. And I was like, helpful, really helpful. I don't get any more headaches. I don't get anything like that. I don't get this overwhelming sense of heaviness or anything. And if I do have a period of time where I know that I want to even do out of bodies, I know how to prepare myself in order to do so, that it works for me. You know what I mean? That it happens for me.
Yeah.
I know everyone's different. Some people eat a certain thing or not eat a certain thing. I just know what to do. And it's since then I kind of intuitively know what to do. It's like I now know how to lock in and get it done. Like,
yeah,
just intuitively what works for me. And I think that's the thing. There's not a one size fits all. So even if someone suggests something for you, you're still going to have to test it out to see if it fits you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're going to have to ask yourself the questions, like when it's a new experience, what's new about it, and when it feels real as well. What felt real, and have you felt that before? Have you experienced that before? Because usually it's a telltale sign.
Answer, no. And another thing, when they were pushing the stones in, I didn't feel any pain, but they all went in. They all dissolved.
Oh, the stone dissolved. You see, you didn't mention this.
Yeah, because I'm watching it. That's why I was like, whoa.
So you felt the stone like pushed in.
Stone.
So how heavy it was, I guess.
I felt the stones.
Yeah.
I looked at them, and they just all pushed down and dissolved with him. Like they pushed it into my being.
It'd be interesting to know what their names are, and I guess you didn't really. It's like they're not really talkative. They were probably busy singing.
They were singing, and I was enjoying it. To be fair,
mm-hmm.
I was like, "Wow, this is new. This is interesting." I'm not trying to move. When I move on the other side, even like now, I've brought that over. I'm not trying to move with too much judgment about things.
No,
so that I can really, truly be the observer of certain situations. If they feel wrong, I will know immediately and I will command that it stops, period. But it didn't feel threatening, wrong, anything like that. I wasn't in any pain.
Yeah, I understand.
So let me just observe.
Yeah, also it was really specific. I mean, there's certain things you could kind of compare to what you know here, through duality. Like when something is done to you that is wrong, in terms, you can also have that as a reference. Whereas, fair-based stuff.
That's why I said it wasn't an abduction for me.
No.
I went somewhere. I guess it was a visitation. I went somewhere and I was taken back home. Done. I'm not taking it as anything else. I can't speak on what I didn't know about it, so I don't know if I went there or if they came and got me.
Right.
Or what? Because I don't have that to recall.
Yeah.
I just know of what I remember. And that's what I remember of it. So that was really lovely. Any other questions?
That's interesting. No, I think I've got to ask most of the questions because you've explained very well.
People ask, and we'll see. Have any of you lot experienced anything like that? Non-harmful, non-threatening, non-scary visitations or travels or anything like that where you see beings and they're just doing something to kind of like upgrade your health in any way or activate something in you or readjust something in you? It's like a recalibration type of ceremony. I don't know what to call it exactly. I don't have the vocab for it yet. But if any of you can relate or if this resonates with you, please put it down in the comment section. So until next time, thanks for being here. Ciao.
Ciao.